Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm going to be talking about a book that is very dark, very sick, twisted, got a lot of disturbing images throughout the book, but it was an excellent read all the way through. The book that I am talking about is The Troop. Throughout this video, I'm not only going to be discussing about the novel itself, but talking about Nick Cutter as an author. And throughout this video, I'm going to be discussing why I liked and enjoyed this book so much. But again, there were some disturbing parts throughout this book, but in a way, I really enjoyed it. It was sick. It was really twisted. Now, if you are new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe and like the video throughout if you've been enjoying this video. But enough said, let's jump right into it. So The Troop by Nick Cutter is actually his first book that I've ever read by him. He has other books out there as well, and there's a couple of them that are on my Goodreads list and my TBR, but I wanted to start with The Troop because I heard really good things about the book, and as I was watching reviews on The Troop, I noticed that they mentioned there were certain disturbing parts that dealt with animal cruelty. So that's a big FYI if you are going to read this book. If you can't stomach or if you can't deal with certain animal cruelty, there's only a couple parts that happen. It is pretty twisted, but again, overall, this book was a phenomenal read from start to finish. The Troop is about this scoutmaster named Dr. Tim Riggs. Tim Riggs and the 5 boys go on this island, which is called Falstaff Island, for a weekend getaway or a weekend trip. The 5 boys that are with Scoutmaster Tim Riggs are 14 years old and include Kent, who is kind of like the popular guy out of the group and one of the most popular kids in school. The next 2 are Max and Ephraim, which are basically 2 of the normal kids throughout the group. Max and Ephraim are also both easygoing throughout the whole book. Then you have Newton, or Newt as they call him. He is the nerdy kid out of the bunch. And lastly, you have Shelly, who is actually the very disturbing and oddball out of the whole group. Again, I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts because that is not how I do my channel, but overall this story, it takes place on the island again, and the first night there is this unknown man who comes on a boat, and he stops at the cabin that the boys and the Scoutmaster are staying in and knocks on it, and he's saying that he is hungry. We'll come to find out when this unknown man comes in, he is actually kind of plagued with something. Again, I'm not going to give away what he is plagued with, but it is very interesting because once that man actually passes away or he dies from what he is plagued with, it starts to get very disturbing throughout the troop and with the Scoutmaster. The Scoutmaster and the boys are dealing with their own demons, and throughout this whole story, they are battling with this plague that is taken upon the whole island of Falstaff Island. As the boys are trying to survive on this island, they are dealing with something that is much stronger than they have ever encountered in their lives before. As the boys are encountering this plague, they are one by one dealing with something in a different way, and the disturbing images that Nick Cutter puts into this novel, it's so crazy, but it's interesting because the visual aid that he puts in his imagery, and it makes all the stuff pop out, and you actually really get to understand what these boys are going through and the battle they are going against. They are not just focusing on what is happening with the boys and the Scoutmaster. They actually have newspaper clippings or articles that are going through like every other chapter, and it ties the story together really well with those newspaper clippings. And once everything is going together with the boys who are battling on the island and the newspaper clippings, you kind of get that visual aid that, you know, Cutter is actually going through, and he is explaining for you really well with all of his imagery and his descriptive words. So overall, I give The Troop 5 stars. I highly recommend it, but again, if you are squeamish or if you do not like animal cruelty, there's a couple of them. I'm not going to say what because again, I do not want to spoil anything, but overall, this book was so sick and twisted, but I love this kind of like writing, and Nick Cutter is again an author that I just found out about, so I'm going to be reading some more of his work, and I'm actually very interested to see what he does in his other books. And also comment in the comments below if you have read The Troop or if you have read anything else by Nick Cutter. I would really like to hear about any of his other stories if you have read them, or if you have enjoyed The Troop, or what you liked and disliked about the book. I really enjoy having these conversations with my subscribers and my audience. It makes the channel more engaging, and the interactions that that a lot of YouTubers may not have with their subscribers. I find that's kind of sucky in a way as a YouTuber, but my BookTube channel is all about interacting with my audience and my subscribers. So again, feel free to comment below anything you want to talk about. I'm so happy to answer back and to keep discussing about any books, genres, or authors that you have to recommend to me that I would like to check out or find out more about. Everyone, thanks again for checking out this video. Again, I highly recommend, if you have not read The Troop and you have the stomach and the gut to go through page by page and read that, I highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed. It is a disturbing but excellent read all the way through. And my subscribers, again, I can't stop thanking you enough for all the support you do. Please keep spreading the word of my channel as it's trying to grow day by day, week by week. And like always, I must say, read your book cover to cover. We'll see y'all later.